Yo, 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 what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone messiah. I am blessing your airwaves. I'm blessing your ears. I'm inside of your eardrums. I hope you
That's
like that.
creepy.
Yeah. It's the last Bulletcast of 2024. We came in here on the last day to give you the Casties, as they're so adequately known as 2024 Bulletcast Awards. I am joined by the Canadian Destroyer, BT, Brandon Tanguma. Brandon, it's the last day of the year, man. What's going on, man? What's going on, baby?
What up, everyone? We're here. We're back with another Casties. I've been here for all of them. I love every single one of them. It's a
Come on
great
now.
time.
Marlee, is this your first cast?
This is my first Casties. I'm here. I'm with it.
Oh
Ended the
man.
year strong.
Right.
We have to start it off by saying do not go over every single pick and then also go over like 10 other picks that you thought should have been on the ballot but aren't on the ballot. We like to keep these things nice and tight around here.
yeah.
I'll
There
save
was
my
I mean,
TED talk.
there was that one year people were writing in things they should have thought. I'm like, nah, just pick what we got, bro. Like this isn't one of those shows. We don't do all
Called
that here.
it's called Make It Do What It Do.
Come on, hello. Come on now. Fuck it, we ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or fuck it, we blind as of like 3 minutes before this. Be that as it may, Marley, you missed the year when I won a casty.
For what?
Actually, what?
No,
Technically, it was
seriously, for what?
a Fabrizi for
What?
being the freshest commentator in the game. Duh.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still waiting for my first Casty.
Yeah, I need my first Castie too. What's going on here?
Hey man, we NorCal Wrestler of the Year is an option.
Well, I might not have a Casty, but I do have a championship belt as your 2024 CTE Fantasy Football Champion. This is also, for those who know, it used to be the OG Bulletcast Championship. No, well, not the first one, but I think the second iteration. For obvious reasons, if you're watching on the YouTube, there's a reason why it's the CTE Championship with the
Okay,
nameplate.
we're not
But
even doing video after that. No video today. Jesus Christ. Uh, when he said CTE, I did not think fantasy football was going to follow that. Oh God. Speaking of Bulletcast,
Well, I mean, if everyone out there enjoyed the CTE awards put on by Antonio Brown over on Twitter, um, I forget exactly who won all the different awards, but it was an event that happened a couple days ago. So
okay, all right.
CTE, 7 years running, been there every single year, and I finally got my first championship.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's get into it. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have as many awards as we used to because these award shows used to be a long one. But we've downsized. We got rid of like 6 or 7 awards. So let's get into it. The breakout star of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, your nominees were Lola Vice, Jacob Fatu, Oba Femi, Zara Zacher, Jada Parker, Mance Warner, Zilla Fatu, Javon Evans, and Alec Price. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu made his debut in WWE over the summer, and he's been loving Solo Sikoa ever since.
By a landslide, too, and definitely not a shocker that he was the winner here. Now, maybe, those of us here in the Bay Area or been listening to us at the Bullet Cast, we've been singing his praises for years, but he definitely did break out on the mainstream scene. He's, made a big name for himself, and I think he is kind of that number one outside of The Rock, the number one match people want to see Roman have.
Absolutely. Marley.
I think it's well deserved. Like Brandon said, those in the NorCal scene are very aware of what Jacob is capable of, but it's like he is truly breaking out to a brand new audience. There's some WWE fans that may be aware of what he's capable of, but there's a brand new audience that they really just have not seen anything yet. So I believe that he truly broke out. And even like that moment where he had his promo, they didn't give him a live mic, but he still did his promo. Really enjoyed that. I feel like
Absolutely.
that solidified him.
Absolutely. Nobody voted for Jada Parker. That is blasphemy.
Don't even get me started. That's crazy. You don't respect your future Royal Rumble winner 2025 like that.
Well, like the running hip, her finisher is called the Hypnotic. I need her to be world champion by the end of this year. Like,
N-word, I know you hear me.
come on now, like breaking bricks over people's skulls in matches. I need Jada Parker to be the world champion at the end of 2025.
That's my goat.
Come on now. Stop playing. I need her in the Melon Mafia. Even if we can just get a photo of her doing the hands, that's it. That's all. I'll take it. I'll take it.
She's in.
Come on now. That's the treasurer of the mafia. Hello. Sorry. I'm sorry. I went on a little rant. Apologize.
Didn't we just like? Didn't we just have this conversation? No TED Talks.
I mean, I had to get that off my chest. Now we good. Now we good. Now we're good. I mean, like Obafemi got a vote and Zilla Fatu got a vote. These are the only other two people that got a vote. Jake won by a massive landslide, but I mean, Obafemi did great. Zilla, he's been killing it. I mean, House of Glory, Crown Jewel champ, Reality of Wrestling champ, but he's going to wrestle Booker T, I believe, next week, and then also he the fourth rope champ for West Side Guns. Heels Have Eyes. So these guys are improving. And Zara Zachary, I mean, WWE ID'd. Javon Evans, came from the Indies, and then he's doing stuff over in NXT. All these people were multifaceted, and anybody could have won. But I mean, with Jake on the list, you kind of knew the direction it was going to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the tag team of the year. The nominees are FTR, the Gun Club, the Mighty Don't Kneel, the Young Bucks, Finn Balor and JD McDonough, Private Party, the System, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie. The winners are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, along with the NXT Tag Team Champions, Axiom and Nathan Frazier. We've had ties on a couple of these awards before. Yeah, I mean, Bianca and Jade, they've really done a great job with those women's tag team titles. They've helped elevate them. I feel like even more in their second run. Obviously, Jade is gone after her heinous attack that happened on SmackDown a number of weeks ago, or even over a month ago now. And then for Axiom, they've been doing good business down there in NXT. I think they're the longest reigning tag team champions that the division has had in quite some time. Marlee, what are your thoughts on the tie for tag team of the year?
I can really only speak on Bianca and Jade because I don't watch NXT weekly, but I feel like that says a lot about Axiom and Nathan Frazier because when I do hear about NXT, they're the main ones in the conversation. Roxanne Perez is in the conversation, but I feel like Bianca and Jade definitely elevated the tag team titles, broke the quote unquote curse of the tag team titles. And I think I've seen one pay-per-view where with Axiom and Nathan Frazier defending the tag team titles. I want to say it was the Battleground pay-per-view. They were pretty solid, so I think both are well deserved. I thought it was funny that nobody voted for Finn and JD. That was a little comedy.
Yeah, a little shocking, I would say, that Axiom and Nathan Frazier tied for this just because NXT, I mean, they get the good viewerships and stuff, but I wouldn't expect them to kind of be in the conversation for for an award like this. But, shout out them. They do good work. When they have their marquee matches, they pull it off. And Jade and Bianca, they've been the women's tag champs for a majority, if not the entire year. And, I did kind of struggle, I think, personally on this one. This was kind of the one category where I didn't exactly know where I was going to go with my vote. I ended up just kind of going with the Young Bucks because I was like, I don't know, they've had some good matches this year. But so, yeah, not shocked that I think it's a little up in the air for who's the best tag team this year.
Right on, right on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the Women's Wrestler of the Year. Well, actually, no. Who did you guys vote for the tag team of the year?
Well, Phillip doesn't listen to me because I said the Young Bucks.
Oh, you voted for the Young Bucks.
Like I said I don't really know. No one really stood out, and I was like, I guess the Young Bucks have had some good matches. They had the Sting Darby match, and I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? They can be the pick.
I think
Okay.
I was on Team Bianca and Jade.
I voted for Bianca and Jade as well. All right, Women's Wrestler of the Year. The nominees are Rhea Ripley, Mariah May, Julia, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Mercedes Moné, Jordan Grace, Masha Slamovich, Tony Storm, and Tom Nakano. And the winner is Mommy the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, is one. Kind of not a surprise. I personally voted for Liv Morgan. I know, you guys thought I would have voted for Nia Jax, but I voted for Liv. I mean, Rhea had to step away twice this year due to injuries, and for Liv to kind of keep this going and for her to be elevated immensely. Because when she started 2024, she was talking about her revenge tour, and people were like, okay, all right, I guess. And then look at where we are now. I don't know if you know this, but on January 6th, she's in a very big match for the Women's World Championship on Netflix. And
I had
that's
no idea.
all due to the work she's done this year, elevating herself, being Women's World Champion, defeating Becky Lynch for that, and defeating Rhea Ripley. I mean, defeating two of the biggest stars in the division and the company in the calendar year. That's incredibly impressive. So my pick was Liv Morgan, but Rhea Ripley, mommy, she took it home. Brandon.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I voted for Tony Storm, who she came in second place overall. And I think it did come down to like Rhea did miss a substantial amount of time during 2024. And I think that just kind of put it over the edge because Rhea is still the biggest woman star in wrestling right now. So it's no shock that she ended up winning, but I think just kind of her inactivity for the most part did kind of take away from me. And I think Tony Storm's done very good work. She kind of, the character that she had at the end of 23, I had some qualms with it, but I do think she kind of rounded out and kind of found that good mix of character work and in-ring work in 24. And then now she's heading into 25 with this new amnesia, whatever gimmick she's doing. So my pick was Tony Storm personally. And she was a
Yeah,
champion for a long time.
I personally went with Mariah May, not because she won the title, but I've been following Mariah May since long before she became a wrestler. Like she was actively looking for wrestling schools and she was ring announcing. And then I took a break from watching wrestling. When I came back, I saw that she was wrestling in Japan, and I was like, okay, if she can do it, we can do it. Like any other regular person can do it. She started as a fan. She was a WWE shop girl. I've kind of been following her since before she came to AEW, and she came to AEW and won the title. And I'm just like, just proud fan, proud fan. So I was the small percentage that was rooting for Mariah May, but Rhea winning does make sense
Yeah.
considering the year that is 2024.
I mean, Mariah May, great heel turn, and Tony Storm. I mean, fantastic work. Uh, it's going to be a run that will be talked about. It was one of the people poo poo on AEW a lot now, but it was one of the things that universally like nobody had a bad thing to say about Tony Storm and the work she was doing. So kudos to her, and let's see what's next with this amnesia angle. All right, promo of the year. Now you guys know I love me a good promo. So the nominees are Drew McIntyre. I prayed for this to happen on the January 29th episode of Raw. CM Punk. I'm prepared for this to be the end of CM Punk. That was on Raw September 16th of this year, heading into that Hell in the Cell match with Drew. Hangman Page burning down Swerve's house on Dynamite from September 5th. Bryan Danielson confronts Swerve Strickland on the August 21st episode of Dynamite. Scott D'Amore, TNA, we're fucking back on the Hard to Kill pay-per-view that was on the 13th of January of this year. And then, of course, the Rock concert, March 15th of this year. He does the concert. He says Mama Rhodes, and, what can you say except I'm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Hangman Page and Drew McIntyre, two of the pettiest individuals in this game, both won promo of the year.
Pettiness reigns supreme in 2024. You love to see it. Drew, Hangman, Kendrick. It's a good year for
Oh,
haters.
Jesus, man. Hey, man, they hate the way that they walk, the way that they talk, the way that they dress. Hey, no, but I voted for Hangman. I mean, it's one of my favorite things that happened in AEW this year. I'm like, this is petty on like what the stuff Punk and like Drew were doing, absolutely petty. But I mean, this took petty to a whole other
I think
landscape.
I think AEW for Christmas even did like the Yule log, but it was Hangman sitting in front of Swerve's burning house, which I feel like that speaks for itself.
Yes,
It's such an
yes.
iconic moment. You can make a Yule log out of it.
Marlee, who'd you vote for?
Who do you think I voted for?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Water is wet, of course. Not just because CM Punk is my favorite, but that promo legitimately gave me chills when I watched it. So I had to put it on there. I had to vote for it.
Speaking of CM Punk promos, next week's episode we'll talk about the promo that him and Seth cut last night. Jesus.
Man, I was at work. I had to take a minute to just gather my thoughts and before I went back in. But that was, yeah.
Yeah. Brennan, thoughts on the dual victory, and then who'd you vote for?
Yeah, no, I mean, no shocker that both the Drew and Hangman promos were tied, both iconic this year. But I did vote for Hangman. Everyone's going to talk about the house burning down in that moment, but if you go back and like actually listen to the promo, I thought that was it is promo of the year after all. And I think the actual promo and his talking and what he was saying while he was pouring the gas throughout the house, and you don't exactly know what's going on until you finally realize like, oh, he's pouring gasoline right now. What is going to happen? Was fantastic.
Absolutely. All right, moving on from that, the OMG moment of the year. The nominees are Joe Hendry's NXT debut, Cody Rhodes finishing the story at WrestleMania 40, Jacob Fatu's WWE debut, Bryan Danielson winning the AEW World Championship, Ricky Stark showing up in GCW, New Day kicking Big E out, and then The Rock slaps Cody Rhodes at the WrestleMania 40 press conference. The winner is Cody Rhodes finishing the story. Normally, this would have been on the championship win of the year, but like I said, we got rid of awards. Yeah, man. I mean, I understand. I mean, it was an emotional night. I was there. I cried other tears, but we're not going to get into that. It took me a while to get over that. But yeah, man. I mean, it was just a feel good moment, bro. It really was. I mean, 70 something thousand plus, just all popping at the same time. It was crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. Good stuff. I personally voted for Rock slapping Cody because it kicked off this amazing ride into WrestleMania. I mean, I haven't felt excitement like that heading into a Mania in quite some time. I mean, obviously, like the stuff that Roman was doing into the couple WrestleManias that he was champion was cool, but like it was just chaotic, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Brennan, thoughts on Cody winning the OMG moment of the year, and then who'd you vote for?
Yeah, Cody winning his story. It might not have been a shocking moment, but it was definitely one of the top moments of the year overall. This was another one where I kind of didn't know exactly where to go for. I guess I kind of forgot I even voted for this. I guess I voted for Bryan Danielson winning the AEW championship. Now, looking back, maybe I probably should have voted for the New Day kicking out Big E, which they ended up tying for second place. But yeah, Cody winning the championship was definitely, I would say, the top moment overall in terms of like what if you're looking back at 2024 wrestling, that is what we're gonna remember for decades.
Marlee.
I think I also voted for Cody Rhodes finishing the story because wrestling is the only thing that makes me cry. I cried when Cody finished his story, as dramatic as it is. So I had to vote for it. It made me cry.
Hey, real. Let it do what it do.
Like there's very few moments in wrestling that make me cry. That and Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 26.
Which is a superior Taker Shawn Michaels WrestleMania
It's,
match.
Thank you.
25,
Thank you.
25,
25 ain't shit compared to
Yeah,
26. Get out of here.
don't ever say that
I
again.
ain't gonna go all that, but I will say I will die on the 26 better than 25 Hill.
I meant Taker and Shawn Michaels matches. 25 ain't shit compared to 26, but 25 was the better show.
Look, if 26 was so good, I would watch it every year, but I don't. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on before this podcast takes a completely different turn. Faction of the year. Nominees are the Bloodline, Don Callis family, the Pure Fusion Collective, the Judgment Day, Los Suavecitos, LWO, the White Six, the South Pacific Savages, and the Patriarchy. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner is the Bloodline. It's all of them. It's the Tongans, it's Jacob, it's Solo, it's Roman, it's Jimmy and Jay. It's all of them.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Rock.
Nice to see people vote for the Cetos, though. I was surprised to see they got a little bit of love in there.
Who'd you vote for?
Cetos.
Okay, okay, okay. All right.
No love for the Pure Fusion Collective. Hate to see it.
Yeah,
There
maybe
was really no, honestly, there was no love for any, like, besides the Bloodline, there was no love for any TV tag teams
yeah,
at
I'm
all.
maybe if the Pure Fusion Collective was listed under a different name, maybe they would have got some love. I don't know.
Exactly. But I mean, no shocker that the Bloodline won here. Beginning of the year with Roman and all of them, and then what they've kind of turned into a solo, and even the OG Bloodline. I think that does warrant why no other TV, uh, whatchamacallit, faction, got a vote just because the Bloodline is. It might be a catchphrase, but it is true. They are on a different level, on another level compared to everybody else.
Marley, how you feel about the Bloodline?
It's been an interesting ride. There were highs, there were lows, but I can't complain. Like, truly, you can't think of WWE in like the past 5 years without thinking of the Bloodline. So it's no surprise that they won by a landslide.
Now, would you
Because
say
I
is this the last year of the Bloodline reigning supreme, or are they going to still, take it
That's a
out and do more stuff?
that's a
if I'm
good
being
question.
honest, I don't even really remember WWE pre-Bloodline. It's like
Oh well,
There's a
pre-Bloodline,
lot of stuff we'd like to forget
post-Bloodline.
about
well,
that.
no. Let's start.
Well, I mean,
Goldberg beat the Fiend in Saudi. There was the Red Hell in a Cell light cage match that
yeah,
happened.
like all of
Roman had
that
dog food
seems
poured on him. Uh,
like all of that seems so minuscule compared to what the rise of the Bloodline has done. Because I'm just like, yeah, I do remember some stuff that happened, but it's just like how it's like BC, AC, it's before Bloodline, after Bloodline, before chair shot, after chair shot.
yeah, man.
Everything comes back to that chair shot.
Come on now. 10-year long term storytelling, man. You love to see it. You love to see it.
That's crazy.
Let's move on from faction. Heel turn of the year. So your nominees are The Rock becoming the final boss, Dominic Mysterio turning heel whilst being a heel, the Blackpool Combat Club becoming with the Death Riders, Mariah May, Ali Katch, Chad Gable, Josh Alexander, Kevin Owens. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner is Dirty Dominic Mysterio, the man that loves chicken tendies. I mean, I don't think anybody has ever in the history of this business turned heel while already being a heel and to get even more heat than they were getting before. A masterpiece. Absolutely. You love to see it. I mean, aligning with Liv Morgan at SummerSlam, breaking mommy's heart. I mean, it's just mm, mm, mm. It was a time. It really was. Brandon, how do you feel about this?
The Dominic heel turn definitely did happen. It was I don't know if say shocking moment because you kind of like, going into it, you kind of knew that something was going to occur, but then it kind of kicked off his new persona and all that stuff. So not shocking. I think personally, I did pick The Rock just because, I mean, who would have seen The Rock after all these years coming back and then turning heel and actually doing like really good stuff? Like there's some qualms and stuff I didn't like, but I think The Rock turning heel is the heel turn of the year because it completely turned WrestleMania on its head. And I think that's why I picked it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, it like I said, man, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And I can't wait to see what they do, coming up here in a couple months, Marley.
I honestly can't remember who I voted for. Either it was either Mariah or Dominic. It was one of the two because it's like, how
Uh,
could you turn heel while already being heel? And then just the fact that I wasn't expecting Mariah to turn heel when she
I mean, there
won
was a
the
heel turn that we didn't talk about that could have been on this list. Um, you
oh the
know,
New
the
Day.
no, 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 no. The dude that left the commentary table that's been running havoc all over Oasis. Yeah, we could
Oh
have
yeah,
talked.
that guy. Anyways, so Mariah May. Yeah, I would argue Mariah May. You were already healed, so that this doesn't count.
What do you mean?
You were already healed before this.
I was a
So
babyface commentator. Don't do me like that.
th-
Let's move on.
anyway,
Jesus Christ. All right. The NorCal Wrestler of the Year. Your nominees are Alpha Zoe, Dante Daring, Beatrice Domino, DJ Fresh, Kenny K, Anton Voorhees, Brooke Havoc, Illumide, Jaya Jewel, Surza. Why was Illumide on this thing twice?
and the second time it wasn't even spelled.
Brother, okay. Alpha Zoe won. Beatrice Domino was the runner up. Yeah. Congratulations to Zoe. I mean, putting in work. I mean, he had a lot of big moments at West Coast this year. He stepped in over at Oasis and became one of the coaches. So it's been a big year for the Blue Flame.
Shout out Alpha Zoe. I'm gonna vote for him every single year because Bullet Cast champion, all that stuff.
Yes,
Shout
yes,
out.
of course.
I was biased. I voted for Domino, besties. But Zoe, that's well deserved. I feel like it was a given considering his resume in 2024 and even like 2023.
Yeah,
Because I was it 2023 he went to Japan? Because I would throw
he
that
came
in there
back
too.
this year. He came back this year.
Okay. Yeah, no, so even like the Japan run, getting that Ring of Honor match and being in one of the
On
segments
Collision this
along with
year.
along with Illumide and I think Jaya was in the segment as well too. Yeah, no, it's all well deserved for Zoe. All of the nominees, but you know, the Blue Flame can't put it out.
Come on now. I got a fight to pick with the Blue Flame, and my jaw still hurt. Nonetheless, the commentator of the year nominees are Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, Booker T, Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, Tony Schiavone, James Kincaid, Excalibur, and Tom Hannafin, who was the former Tom Phillips. Michael Cole won, but God damn it, Booker T, he made some moments this year. I like it. Vibing out to Sexy Red. Oh, hell no. By the way, you can go meet WWE Hall of Famer Booker T on January 4th in San Jose.
For the
Yeah.
San Jose Barracudas Cudamania.
Yes. I mean, if anybody wants to give me a ticket, it'd be a nice little birthday gift. I'm just saying. Hello. But yeah, Michael Cole, man, the voice of the WWE, man, the voice of the game. He's really come a long way. He's finally getting the flowers that he should have been getting. Shout out to the coal mine. Yeah.
I think I voted Michael Cole because he's been with WWE as long as I've been alive.
Come on now.
I think if I do recall, I probably voted for Nigel. It's either Nigel or Wade Barrett. I think both those guys have done really good work this year, and I think maybe Wade Barrett especially because I think he came back. Was it this year he came back, and people kind of like forgot how I think good he is, and he's just like a good even keel. And they're almost kind of like the same character, not just because they're British, but like they're the heel who kind of isn't like super over the top, but just kind of subtle in the way they carry themselves. And I think both of them did really good work this year.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. All right, moving on. Show of the year. The nominees are WrestleMania 40, Wrestle Kingdom 18, Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory, AEW's All In, NXT Heatwave, AEW Revolution, Survivor Series, GCW, Blood on the Hills 3, and then Big Toko's Kickback 3. The winner was WrestleMania 40 with Big Toko's Kickback 3 coming in second place. I mean, WrestleMania 40, so many great moments happened. The Avengers assembled to help Cody Rhodes become the undisputed WWE champion. And man, I mean, just thinking back on that on that night, I mean, that moment, it was like I said, nothing I've ever experienced. I mean, Cena coming back, him and Rock being face to face again, that gong hitting one more time. Like I said, if the glass had shattered, that place would have went ballistic, but they did go crazy for when that gong hit. And then for Roman's historic run to end like that, it was a masterpiece. WrestleMania 40 was a masterpiece. It can go down as that. And Punk costing Drew the title after he had won it for 5 minutes, and the chair shot, like Marlee said, it all comes back to that chair shot. Roman, getting revenge after 10 years and it costing him everything was just it was excellent storytelling. Brandon.
Yeah, I mean WrestleMania 40. Now you could maybe say like an AEW pay-per-view had like better actual wrestling, but show of the year, it's the biggest show for WWE. It was a financial success. It was a storyline success, wrestling success. From any, metric you want to cover, WrestleMania 40 was they hit it out of the park. And so no doubt in my mind this should be show of the year. Yep. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I voted for. It was either Mania 40 or War Games. I genuinely can't remember. Been a long holiday season of working, fellas. But WrestleMania 40, yeah, like you really. What else can you say about WrestleMania 40 that hasn't been said?
It was great.
Because we even when I was at my old job at the time, we got to put it on the big screen. So I watched WrestleMania 40 at work both days. So
Type shit, type shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it was just a good show. I feel like it was a perfect WrestleMania. There's nothing more that can be said. It was set up perfectly, even though the direction towards it went a different way. They still knocked it out of the park. Solid.
Yeah. Match of the year. Your nominees are Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship, WrestleMania 40. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship, All In. Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, Hell in the Cell at Bad Blood. Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly, AEW Dynasty. Titus Alexander, Starboy Charlie versus Los Suavecitos, West Coast Pro 6th Anniversary. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 40. Konosuke Takeshita versus Mike Bailey, Maple Leaf Pro, Forged in Excellence.
You got this, Philip.
Brandon, you're going to read that one, brother?
We got Maya Iwatani taking on Sari at Stardom.
Yes. All-Star Grand Queendom. Mariah May versus Tony Storm, AEW All In. Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay, AEW Dynasty. And then Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks, AEW Revolution. We had a tie at second place. That would be Danielson and Ospreay, and then Punk and McIntyre. But the winner is Cody and Roman for the title at Mania 40. We talked about it a lot. I'm gonna talk about Punk and Drew, man. I mean, that was my vote, or I think it was. Jesus, I can't even remember. I can't remember what I voted for now. But Punk and Drew, man. I mean, a hell of a story told, and for Drew to carry out this story with Punk being injured, with a guy that couldn't do anything for like 4 or 5 months. Excellent. They got 3 matches out of it, and it was a hellacious Hell in the Cell match. The feeling and the aura of Hell in the Cell felt like it was back with this contest. And I mean, Drew McIntyre feels like he's in a better spot than when he was walking into WrestleMania 36. I mean, obviously, the pandemic happened, but talk about the 2020 Royal Rumble with like the aura that was around Drew McIntyre then. I feel like he has even more aura now with the current character he's playing as the Bloodline Hunter coming off of the CM Punk feud. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, these top 3 matches, all good in their own rights. This is where it kind of came down to outside of, show of the year. I was like, oh, obviously WrestleMania was the best show because it was the biggest and all the other stuff. This one, it came down more to like subjective, and I did vote for Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay. I just thought that match was just phenomenal in-ring wise. Killed it. Just best in-ring match I've seen this year. Roman and Cody winning, not surprising either. It was the biggest match of the year. I have my qualms. I think it's a little bit too overbooked, and like the actual in-ring stuff, I thought was a little wasn't that great compared to some of the other matches. But yeah, so my pick was Danielson and Ospreay just strictly off of the in-ring work. But I'm not surprised that the biggest match of the year ended up winning match of the year.
Marley Marr.
I'm honestly trying to remember what I voted for because I know I sung praises about Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. That was definitely a sleeper match. I think it was AEW Dynasty back in April. But yeah, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, it was a long time coming. And I feel like it was a story that paid off because, yeah, everybody expected Cody to win the Rumble, take the title last year. But what we got out of Cody not winning the title last year match of the year practically. No brainer. And also CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, a solid runner up choice because I think that's probably one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches I've seen.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, it's the last one, always the big one. Male Wrestler of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, your nominees were Damian Priest, Christian Cage, Gunther, Will Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr., Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Swerve Strickland, Drew McIntyre, Nick Nemeth, and Seth Rollins. And we have what, a five-way tie? Gunther, Ospreay, Punk, Strickland, and McIntyre all come in at number two. Cody Rhodes is your male wrestler of the year for 2024. Adrenaline in your soul, something, something. Cody Rhodes. Shout out to the CEO of the Melanie Mafia, man. Real talk. Um, I love to celebrate a black champion. You know, but all seriousness aside, all jokes aside, no, congratulations, man. I mean, Cody. You know, we all know the story. Undesirable to undeniable. Came back 2 years ago and got the job done. Good work, roller coaster. Marlee, what are your thoughts?
Man, Cody has come a long way since Legacy. 'Cause I remember I'd come home from school, watch him in Legacy, not really know what he was doing. I remember the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick. I remember Stardust and the fact that he was able to essentially break down and rebuild to the star that he is now. A lot of growth. Like you can almost sit here and be proud of him to see his career growth and trajectory to go from just again being undesirable to undeniable. Now you can't really look at WWE without thinking Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, the star that left us all in the dust to being the first overall renowned uh cheered babyface since Hogan. I mean, people will say Austin or Rock. I mean, they were anti-heroes, but you know, just I mean, I mean, given what we know about Hogan behind the scenes, the character, you know, fighting for good, waving the flag, you know, doing all that, you know, men, women, and children all love the American Nightmare. Brandon,
Yeah, once again, not shocked. We're seeing a theme here with the Cody Roman, WrestleMania 40 getting a win, and obviously now Cody getting male wrestler of the year. No surprise. Once again, I kind of forget who I exactly went for, but I think I might have went with Ospreay just because I think strictly in ring work. Like he's had maybe three of the top five matches of the year this year, so I thought maybe show some love there. But Cody Rhodes, I mean, he's the WWE champion. He won the title. He's been the top guy. Now you can say like maybe his title reign hasn't like lived up to the win, but that win at WrestleMania 40, it's one of the all-time moments in WWE history. So it's kind of hard to live up to that type of hype. And the year he's had, I mean, what 2 years he's had since his return at WrestleMania a couple years ago has unfathomable from what we thought could happen, even when he got cut, let alone when he left AEW.
Ryan. As we wind down here, what is your biggest takeaway from wrestling in 2024? Marlee.
It hurts. My back hurts. But honestly, jokes aside, I feel like remember when AEW was saying restore the feeling? I feel like it didn't just apply to AEW. I felt like it applied to wrestling as a whole because despite its flaws, AEW, they're making it do what they do. WWE, we're seeing a big boom now, especially with transitioning into this streaming era. Like they just ended a 32-year run on USA Network. SmackDown just ended a 5-year run on Fox. It's just things are changing. I feel like it's going to be change for the better for those who are currently in it, for those who are coming into it, and for those even those who are making their way out, whether retiring or just winding down in their careers. I feel like there was a good shift in wrestling this year.
Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, I think this year was definitely kind of the stamp on WWE that they are back and they are a hot product and they are doing really good stuff. If you want to draw equivalents to the Monday Night War, I would say 2024 is like 99. to where 23 you can see the cracks in AEW, and WWE was definitely doing good stuff like in 98, and then 99 to kind of WWF pulled away very substantially from WCW, and now that's what WWE has done. Now I'm hopefully like AEW is still gonna be around in these next few years in the foreseeable future, but 2024 is a huge year for WWE financially. Obviously, if it's McMahon stuff and all the lawsuits and stuff aside, but it was, you know, I know the AEW got here, but this was a ginormous year for WWE, and they're only going to get bigger, I think, with Netflix next year.
Yes, 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 yes. For me, I mean, just to see like the boom period with WWE has been great. I know I've I've harped on AEW for certain things, but there were things that I did like, and with them moving to smaller venues coming in the new year, hopefully we can see them turn things around. Um yeah, and then just for me personally, uh done a lot of cool shit this year, man. Done a lot of cool shit with the Mafia and with Oasis, and just growing and developing a character, and just kind of changing the way you can do promos with more cinematic stuff. I'm very grateful for that. Shout out to the voice of the Melana Mafia, Marlee. If y'all didn't know, that's the voice behind those videos.
I feel like if they listen to the show and listen to the intros, they can kind of put two and two together. But
So
yes, it is I.
you wouldn't believe it. I've talked to some people, they didn't know it was you.
Really,
Yeah,
really, wow. Okay,
yeah.
my impact. It's only going to get bigger. 2025.
Come on now,
Watch
but
out now.
yeah. To the Mafia, to everybody that I've been rolling with on the road with, to the coaches, man. For real, shout out, appreciate y'all. 2024 was great. 2025, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Thank y'all very much. This is gonna end the Casties. Have a happy new year. Have a happy, safe new year. We're back next week. We're gonna talk Raw on Netflix. I don't know if you knew of this, but January 6th, Raw on
I had no
Netflix.
idea.
Los Angeles, California, Intuit Dome. It's going down. We're gonna talk all the big matches and everything with the fallout. Who won Tribal Combat? Did Punk or Rollins walk out the victor? What's going on with the Women's World Championship and more? Thank you guys so much.
Under the Radar returns this week with some AEW talk, Wrestle Dream and Dynamite recap.
Yes, we'll probably have to get Marlee her own show on the airwaves coming in 2025. We'll see what happens.
Figure out how it goes.
Come on now.
They can do what it do. F it, we ball.
That's the name of the show. Fuck it, we ball. Bam. There you go. Thank you guys so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous. Happy New Year, everybody.